Some men die in the woods, some come back from them, and some bring something with them. Let me take you to a village near the old Sava River, back when the Ottoman border still bled into the Balkans, a place of wolves, incense, and whispered names. This is the story of Koschei, a man who went to kill a Turk and came home on the 10th night. Koschei was a peasant, but to the village he was more than that, a Cossack who had buried 2 brothers and 3 winters' worth of wolves. His silence held weight. His gaze could freeze a liar mid-sentence. And yet, when he returned, none of that strength was left. Only the shape remained. When word spread that the outlaw Alibek the Turk was hiding in the Carpathian foothills, Koschei volunteered to hunt him down. Before leaving, he warned them,
"If I don't return in 10 days and come knocking after nightfall, do not let me in. I will look like myself. I will speak like myself, but it will not be me."
Then he crossed himself twice and left. 10 days passed. On the 10th night, as the sun dipped below the trees, Koschei came back. No horse, no blood, no bounty, just a clean axe. And a face that smiled without creasing. The family hesitated, but blood is blood. They let him in. He sat at the hearth, said little, slept none. The fire burned low. The baby wailed, and the dog hid under the floorboards. He didn't eat, didn't speak unless spoken to. And even then, he answered slowly, like someone translating from another language in his head. He walked through rooms like a guest. Sometimes he stopped mid-step, tilted his head, and said softly,
"It's listening now. We shouldn't speak when it listens."
On the first night, he turned every mirror to the wall. On the second, he stood barefoot in the yard until dawn, snow gathering on his shoulders like a burial shroud. He smiled too often, laughed at things no one had said. And one night, his son, Mitya, woke to find him in the hallway. When asked what he was doing, Koschei whispered,
"Some rooms aren't ours anymore."
Mitya was the eldest. His mother still called him by his childhood name. But he had the bearing of a man now, and the fear of one. He watched his father sit through the night, unmoving, facing the wall, not praying, just sitting, listening. Then the strange things began. The fire wouldn't stay lit past midnight. The windows froze from the inside. Each morning, one of the crosses on the wall had turned upside down. The dog stopped barking, just stared at Koschei and whimpered, and every night, at exactly 3 a.m., the church bell rang once, even though the bell tower had collapsed years ago. One of the sons found muddy footprints in the hallway, bare, large, wrong. They led from the door to each bedroom and stopped at the baby's cradle. Yet the door had remained locked all night, as if someone or something had walked through without ever opening a thing. Koschei never said where he'd been. When asked, he just smiled.
Alibek's blood ran cold, but his voice was warm.
Not the warmth of life. No, It was the warmth of memory, of something that remembered how to be human, something that had worn many voices and used Alibex like a mask that still fit. Then the priest came. The eldest son, Mitya, had fetched him before dawn, clutching a silver cross and the last of the family's coin. The priest arrived by dusk, but he did not cross the gate. He looked at the house, his breath caught, his eyes widened through the frost-blurred window. He saw Gorcha, standing behind the curtain, watching, not blinking. His eyes were not empty. They were full, too full. He took one step back, clutched the cross to his chest, whispered to Mitya,
"A Vurdulak is not born, it is made. Called from the dark places, men should not wander. It is hunger, a hunger that remembers how to speak. That is not your father. A Vurdulak feeds only on its bloodline. It doesn't haunt, it gathers. If you open the door, you won't be letting him in. You'll be going out."
He reached into his cloak, whispered something old, older than Church Slavonic, words braided with iron and ash, then scattered the salt across the threshold and left mumbling prayers. Then came the bruises. The children woke with finger-length marks. They said they saw a man with no mouth, standing in the corner at night. The daughter-in-law tried to leave. She made it as far as the front gate. They found her shawl hanging from a tree branch, tied in a perfect knot. Still swinging. The family faded, one by one, not gone, changed. They stayed, at the hearth, at the cradle, but they were no longer hungry for food, only each other. Only Mitya remained, and still, he never said the word, not because he didn't believe, but because he did, because once you name it, it looks up from the fire. Mitya poured the last of the lamp oil across the floorboards. He didn't look back when he lit the match. He walked for 3 days, didn't eat, didn't sleep, just kept walking. By dusk he stumbled into shelter, an old barn, long abandoned, but the walls still held. He barred it, wedged a broken rake against the frame, curled up near the far wall, wrapped in an old horse blanket, and waited for night to pass. But night does not pass here, not fully, because before the stars had fully risen.
You did it just like I taught you. You always were the good son. We're proud of you. Come home now. It's over.
Then came the breathing, from the rafters, the walls, the floor. He looked at the door, still barred, wasn't it? And then, the beam slides, no wind, no footsteps. Cold air flooded the room, and with it, the smell. Burnt linen, wet soil, iron. Then came the voices.
"You forgot my name, Mitya."
You said you'd protect us.
Come sit by the hearth, son. It's still warm.
Then they whispered his name. Mitya. Mitya.
Mitya. Mitya.
Mitya. He dropped the blanket, tried to scream. No sound came out. His mouth moved, but something else was already breathing through him, and in that final moment, he understood. They had never left. Not the voices, not the cold, not the house. It hadn't burned, not really. It had followed, because some houses don't need walls to hold what's inside. The Vurdulak doesn't hunt. It remembers. It speaks in the voice you'd follow, wears the face you'd die to see again. And when it sits beside you, you don't run. You stay, because by then, you've already sat down. You hang on every word, afraid to miss the one that might save you. But you never look behind, not once. Poor little soul. By the time you hear my voice, I'm already at your door. And that voice you love, the one that calls your name so sweetly, it remembers you well, too well. Go ahead. Look them in the eye tonight and pray. They blink. Like, comment, subscribe, or I'll teach your shadow to forget you.